The first video is of the rectal anatomy. It is important for us to understand the anatomy so that we can understand the stage of cancer and what treatments are available. We hope this is helpful to you. Good luck.
This video contains a lot of information which will likely be very overwhelming as you start your cancer journey. Please pause the video and come back to it as often as necessary as you go through the different aspects of your treatment. It can also be helpful to have a pen and paper ready to write down any questions you might have for your provider about your specific care. During this video, we are going to cover the location, anatomy, and layers of the rectum. Our goal is that this information will help you to understand what is happening to your body during your cancer journey. We will be showing pictures of the rectum from different views. To help understand these views, we will demonstrate the different types of pictures using an apple. The first way we can look at images is a front view. If we cut the apple through the sides and looked inside, we would get the front view. The second way we can look at images is the side view. If we cut the apple through the front and look at it from the side, we would get the side view. The third and final way we can look at images is a cross-section. If we cut through the waist of the apple and look down, we would get the cross-section view. Now we will go over the location of the rectum in the body. This will be helpful for you to understand which areas of your body are involved during your cancer care. In this picture of a person, the gastrointestinal tract is outlined. The gastrointestinal tract, or GI tract, is where food enters the body, nutrients are absorbed, and waste exits. We are going to go over each part one by one. Food enters the body through the mouth, which is the first part of the GI tract. Next, it travels down from the mouth into the stomach. Once food leaves the stomach, it enters and travels through the small intestine, which is a long, thin tube curled up. Food then goes through the large intestine, which is a short, thicker tube. The large intestine has two parts. The first part is the colon. The second part is the rectum, the focus of this video. At the end of the rectum and the last part of the GI tract, where the waste exits, is the anus. During the course of your treatment, you may hear about other organs that are not part of the GI tract, such as the lungs, which are in the chest, and the liver, which is in the belly. We will now go over structures surrounding the rectum. Understanding what organs are close by may help you to understand why you may or may not qualify for certain treatment options. First, we will cover organs in a side view of an adult female. Moving from front to back, the first structure we see is the bladder. Next, there is the uterus and the vagina. Then the rectum, at the bottom of which is the anus. The last structure is the spine and tailbone. We will now go over the organs around the rectum in a male. Here we have a side view of an adult male. Moving from front to back, the first structure we see is the bladder. Under the bladder, we see the associated male organs, including the prostate. Moving further back, we then see the rectum. At the bottom of the rectum is the anus. The last structure is the spine and tailbone. Next, we will take a closer look at the anatomy of the rectum itself. This is the area in your body that is affected by the cancer, so we are going to talk about it in more detail. Zooming in on the rectum, we can see the different parts. The rectum is 4 to 6 inches, or about 10 to 15 centimeters in length. Waste comes into the rectum from the colon and exits the rectum from the anus. The anus is specialized skin and muscle that provides sensation for bowel movements and is typically 1 inch or 2 to 3 centimeters in length. During your treatment, you may hear the term anal verge, which is where the anus meets the skin on the outside of the body. There are important muscles that surround the rectum and help it function properly. 2 of these muscles are particularly important as they help you control when you want to have a bowel movement. These muscles are called the sphincters. There are 2 sphincters, the internal and external sphincter. In the last section of this video, we will take an even closer look at the rectum and zoom in on its layers. The layers are very important to determining the stage and treatment options for your cancer. In order to look at the layers, we are going to look at the rectum as a cross-section. The rectum has layers like an onion. Closest to the channel is the lining of the rectum, also known as the mucosa, which promotes absorption. The next layer is the underlining, also known as the submucosa, which provides strength to the rectum. The third layer is the muscle layer, also known as the muscularis propria. Around these three layers is the fat covering of the rectum, also known as the mesorectum. This fat covering contains lymph nodes and blood vessels to provide nutrition and remove tissue waste. In other videos, we will use this view to show the layers.
To summarize, the rectum is at the end of the GI tract. It is surrounded by many other organs and is made up of many layers.
Special thanks to all of our patients and colleagues who helped develop this video.